Well, hello again. Welcome to our reading of the Greek New Testament, and we're reading the Gospel according to Matthew. We're in chapter 26 and up to verse 26. Esthionton de auton labon hoiesus aton kai eulogesas eklasen kai dus tois methetais apen. Labete fagete tut estin to somamu. So we have a genitive absolute at the beginning. So while they were eating, Jesus, having taken from Lambano the bread and having given thanks, eklasen, this is from klao, to break, so he broke it, and kaidus, and having given it, eros participle from didomi, to the disciples, apen, he said, and the very famous words, of course, of the Eucharist, labete, take, bagete, eat, tut estin, this is my body. Kai labon poterion, kai Eucharistesas edokenautois legon, piete ex autu pantes. Tutoga estin to haimamu tes diathekes, to peripolon, ek kunomenon es apesen, and then it's hamation. And having taken poterion a cup, and having given thanks, edoken, he gave, understand it, to them, legon, saying, piete, that's the aorist imperative from pino, and it's the second person plural, so all of you drink from it, that is the cup, for this is my blood, tes diathekes, of the covenant. And the variant readings here again, as you see, this is my blood of the covenant. And then in apposition to to haima, we get to ek kunomenon, the participle. Now the normal word for pouring is heo, but we get this later form kuno, and we get this verb ek kuno. So the blood which is poured out regarding many, so for many, eis, resulting in aphesis, forgiveness, hamation, of sins. Lego de humin, ume pio abati ek tutu to genematos tes ampelu, heos tes hemeros akenes, hotan autopino methumon kainon ente basilea to patros mu. And I say to you, and we get ume plus the subjunctive. This is the aorist subjunctive from pino. It's a very strong negation. In no way will I drink. Ap arti is from now on. Ek tuto to genematos tes ampelu go together. Literally from this produce, genema, that which is begotten from, so the produce of the ampelos, of the vine, of the grapevine, heos, until takes a genitive, until that day, hotan, hoter plus an, when, and this again is a subjunctive after the an here, whenever I might drink of auto it. That's agreeing with this genema up here, that's why it's neuter. I drink it with you, new, ente basilea, in the kingdom of my Father. Kai hom nesantes exeothen est to oros ton elion. And having sung a hymn from Humneo, they went to the mountain of Olives, to the Mount of Olives. The next, that pericope, of course, is in Mark and Luke, as is the next ones in Mark, Luke, and John. Interestingly, John does not have a record of the Last Supper. in the way the other Gospels do. Toti lege autois ho Jesus, and at that time Jesus says to them, Pantes humes scandales este en emoi en te nupti taute gegraptai ga pataxe ton poimena kai diascorpis thesontai ta probita tes poimnes. So we get a quotation here from Zechariah 13:7. But the first bit is, then Jesus said to them, all of you. Now, scandalisto, or scandalisdomai in the middle, here it's in the passive, scandalisdomai in the passive with N, often has the meaning to reject. It's to be caused to stumble because of, and hence comes to mean reject. So all of you will reject me on this night. Gegraptai, perfect from grapho, for it has been written, pataxo, this is from patasso, double sigma, I will strike the shepherd, and ta probita, the sheep, tes poimnes of the flock, diascorpis thesontai, from diascorpisdomai, they will be scattered. So I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered. And it's a quotation from Zechariah. Meta de to ergethenai me pro exo humas esten Galilean. Now we get meta plus the articular infinitive here. And the subject of the infinitive is me. So after I am raised, pro exo, this is from pro ago, I will lead ahead, so I will lead you ahead, so I will go ahead of you into Galilee. Apokrithes de hopetros epen auto. And Peter, having answered, he said to him, Epantes scandalis thesontai en soi, ego udepoti scandalis thesomai. So Peter, having answered, said to him, so if all, this is the same idiom again with the scandalisdomai in the passive with N, so even if all reject you, I, udepoti, never, literally not ever, so I never will reject you. Aposcandalisdomai. Ephe auto ho Jesus, Jesus said to him, Amen lego soi, hoti entaute te nupti, prin electora phonesai tris apanesai se me. Truly I say to you that on this night, now we get prin plus the infinitive. Before, this is from elector with an omega rho, and this the genitive is electoros. So this is the cock. So before the cock makes a noise, from phonio, so often rendered crows, but it's just that word for phonio to make a sound. You will deny me, from apaneomai, you will deny me thrice, 3 times. Lege auto hopetros, Peter says to him, historic present. Khan is for kai ean, and this is a subjunctive here from day. This is a subjunctive from day. So even if it is necessary, if it were necessary for me, apothanain, to die with you, ume se up anesamai, ume plus the subjunctive again. So I will not. This is actually here future. So we're getting ume plus the future here, not the subjunctive, which is slightly odd. I will never deny you. Homoios de akaipantes hoimathetai epen, and all the disciples said homoios likewise, so said the same thing. The next little pericope again is in Mark and Luke, but not John. This is the prayer in Gethsemane. Tote erkatai met auton ho Jesus es chorion legomenon Gethsemane, kai legai tois methaitais kathisate autu heos hu in brackets abelthane eke pros euxamai. At that time Jesus comes with them, historic present, as chorion into the place being called Gethsemane. Kai legai tois methaitais, and he says to the disciples, imperative here, aorist imperative from kathisdo, sit. Now, autu can be used with a range of meanings, but one of which is in this place, so here. That's a common usage of autu, certainly in classical Greek, and it's being used here in that sense. So sit here, heos, and then in brackets who. So it's until the time when. So we will just translate it as while, apelthane, having gone off, eke there, and we're getting a subjunctive here from pros euchomai, I might pray. Kai paralabon ton petron kai tus dua Zebediah exato, and having taken Peter and the two sons of Zebediah, exato, he began from archomai. Now we get two infinitives off that one, so he began lupaesthai. From lupio is to cause grief, lupaesthai to be grieved. So he began to be grieved, kai dom monen. Now this is a funny word. It only occurs here, and I think it's once in Mark and once in Philippians in the New Testament. The etymology of this is not very secure, as debated. It's generally translated as to be distressed or to be in trouble, to be worried or distressed or concerned. So he began to be grieved and to be troubled. Toti legai autois, and at that time he says to them, historic present, perilopos estin hepsuke mu heos thanatu. My soul is perilupos, very grieved. Heos, literally to the point of death, literally unto death, to the point of death. Menete hodi kai gregorete met emu. In aorist imperative here from Meno, remain hodi here. Now this is from Gregorio, it's an epsilon contract verb. Gregorio is to keep awake. So remain here and keep watch, or keep awake or keep watch, met emu with me. Kai proelthone mikron episen epi prosopon autu pros eucomenes kai legon partemu edunaton estin perothato ap emu ton poterion tuto. And having gone forward, that's the pro here, mikron, a little way, episen, aorist from pipto, to fall, so he fell, epi prosopon autu, upon his face, praying, participle, kai, and saying, partemu, my father, e dunaton estin, if it is possible. Now we get an imperative. It's a third person aorist singular imperative, and the subject of which is topoterion tuto. So let this cup pass on ap emu, from me. So let this cup pass from me. Plain is often used in later Greek simply meaning but, which is what it is here. Plain uk hos ego thelo al hos su, but not as I wish, but as you wish. Kai ekatai prostus methetais kai heuriske autus kathiodontas, kai allege to petro, hutos uk iscusato mian horan gregore sai met emu. And he came to his disciples, and he found them. Now we get a accusative plural participle here from kathudo, to sleep. So he found them sleeping, and he says to Peter, historic present, "Hutos uk iskusate," literally, "Are you not strong thus?" So it's idiomatic here. So are you not able? Don't you have the strength? Don't you have that much strength? Gregoresai, to keep watch or to keep awake. Met emu, with me, for mian horan, for 1 hour. So are you not strong enough to keep watch with me for 1 hour? Gregorete, imperative from this Gregorio verb. Keep watch or keep awake, and prosukes there, and pray. Hina me as elthati es perasmon, in order that you might not enter into temptation, or you might not be put to the test, perhaps. Literally, you might not enter into temptation. Now we get one of these very rare men and de balancing words here. Tomin pneuma prothemon he desax asthenes. For the spirit, on the one hand, is keen, prothemon, but the flesh, asthenes, is weak. Palin ek deuteru ap elthon pros exata legon, partemu eu dunatai tuto parelthen, ean me auto pio, gene theto to thele masu. And again, now ek deuteru is idiomatic here. It simply means for a second time. So again, a second time, ap ealthen, having gone off, he prayed, saying, "My Father, if this," now we have to understand this poterion, if this cup is not able to pass by, ean me, except that pio I drink it. So we get the aorist subjunctive here after ean me. So if this, understand, cup is not able to pass by except that I drink it, imperative, let your will, genetheto, let it happen, let it be done. So let your will happen. Kai elthon palin hurin autos kathudontas, and having come again, he found them sleeping. Ezange auton hoyophthalmoi bebare menoi. This is their eyes of them, so for their eyes, and then we get a periphrastic pluperfect here. So we're getting a perfect passive participle from barrio, is to burden, to weigh down, and this is the perfect passive, so were weighed down, and it's just like what we do in English. So for their eyes were heavy, we'd say. They were weighed down. Kai aphes autus palin apelthon pros exata ectritu, ton auton logon epon palin. And having left them, again, having gone off, he prayed ectritu. This is like ek deuteru we saw before for the second time. This is for the third time. Apon, speaking palin again, ton auton logon. Now when you've got autos between the article, the definite article, and the noun, it means the same. So having spoken again the same word. Tote erkatai prostus methetas kai lege autois, and at that time he comes to the disciples and he says to them, kathudete to, in brackets, loipon kai ana paueste. Now loipon, it's funny use, again it's idiomatic, it means in the remaining time, so perhaps hereafter or henceforth. So it's something like sleep henceforth, and anapao there, and rest, from anapao. Idu, behold, hengiken he hora kai hopios tu anthropo paradidatai es keras hamatalon. Behold, the hour is drawing near. This is from Enkizda. This is the perfect, I should say. So this is from Engizdo, to draw near. So behold, the hour has drawn near, and the Son of Man is being betrayed, present, into the hands of sinners. Egeres there agomen. Arise, so get up, agomen, let us go. This is a hortatory subjunctive. This is an imperative here, followed by a hortatory subjunctive. So, arise, let us go. Idu angiken hoparadidus me. There's that perfect again from Engizdo. Behold, the one betraying me has drawn near. And that's the next section of chapter 26.